Welcome everybody to another edition of the Major Music Lounge podcast. It's your boy D Dot coming at y'all with a new episode. It's been a minute, just a lot of things going on behind the scenes, but I'm gonna gradually be getting back to doing shows as I'm doing this one. Just kind of want to end 2023 on a really great note. And today's guest is actually going to be 16 Sounds Beats and an artist by the name of Vincenzo The Lion. Both of these homies are from the UK, and they're going to come on and talk to us about their recent single, which is going to be Bang This Out. And they're going to tell us a little bit about their journey creating music and more. If you've been a long-time listener or watcher of the Major Music Lounge podcast, then you probably remember the interview that I did with 16 Sounds Beats. I think it was like sometime last year. Yeah, I think it was last year. But it's great to have him back on the show, as well as Vincenzo himself. I've been seeing these brothers work over the past couple of years, and I told 16 Sounds on that episode that I eventually wanted to do something with he and Vincenzo, so it'd be great to have them on the show. If this is your first time tuning into the Major Music Lounge podcast, we like to talk to other producers and artists about their musical journey. You know, maybe those producers have placements, they also create content. They may just want to come on and talk about the latest and greatest gear or some of the gear that they're using and more. And then for the artists, the same thing along those lines. Maybe as an artist, you're a content creator. You like to post like your studio sessions, your shows. You have a really large following. Maybe you worked with a major artist out there. If so, if that's you, then please reach out to me. I'm always looking for guests to have on the podcast. And you can follow me on Instagram at d._major music. Same thing on Threads and Twitter, d.mme. So without much further ado, let's go ahead and get into the interview. Right. Here we are with 16 Sounds Beats and Vincenzo The Lion to talk about their new single today, Bang This Out. As I said in the intro, I had 16 Sounds on the show about a year ago. Might have been a little bit longer, but we talked about having Vincenzo on. So definitely glad to have both you brothers on. I got a chance to listen to Bang This Out, and I really like what I heard. But how are you guys doing? You know, before we get into the music, how are y'all doing?
Yeah, good, man. Just been busy, working a lot. You know what I mean? It's a lot of shows, a lot of music coming out, a lot of videos getting recorded. Yes, it's mad. So we're just coming to the end of the year now and finishing off the last few bits that we're doing now. We've got one more release, which is our new song. The new one's called Just Junior. The last one we did, Bang This Out.
Yeah, we done Bang This Out last summer.
Yeah,
last August.
Yeah, so Bang This Out was what you were saying last summer. The music video where we're in the gym and that. But the new one's called Just Junior, and that's like
Just Junior.
It's a bit of a life story for me, and it's good that Johnson made the beat for it as well, because he was a part of my childhood as well. So it just it goes together.
Yeah. So let's get into that because I did listen to just Junior this morning when I was kind of working out. But tell us a little bit. I know it was kind of like about your whole journey, as you said. But did you guys coming up with the beat? Because I really like the beat too. It's kind of a smooth, hip hop vibe. But like, when you guys work, did maybe 16 send you the beat first, or were y'all in the lab together and you just were coming up with different ideas?
Do you know what?
I can't remember if we was. I don't know if we was in here or
no. We was in the studio. I remember. I think it was our Christmas. It was like our Christmas Christmas party. Yeah. No, it was a Christmas our Christmas studio sort of party we had, and I remember you playing it, and straight away, I was just like, wow, I like that. Do you know what I mean? I want to do something with that. And then And then I thought I actually had the Josh Junior lyrics written to another beat actually, and then when I heard that, I was like, no, I've got to use that one. Yeah, and then we just started working on it. Obviously, you've done some more to the beat and stuff, and then I finished writing it. Yeah, it just come together quite easily after that. But yeah, that was like a year ago. So is it?
I made that beat last winter.
Yeah.
So it must have been maybe actually last autumn I made that beat, I reckon. So yeah, it's been but we've been talking about doing it for a long time.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we recorded it. When did we record it? Like summer?
Yeah, it was around early summer, I think. Yeah. So much going on. Like, yeah. Can't even remember that far back now.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had it worked for a long time now. So
yeah. So we're finally getting it released.
Yeah. So y'all mentioned you go back to like childhood working, right?
Yeah. It's literally like a whole life story from the beginning, basically, from everything that all my accomplishments. Well, not all of them, most of them that I could get into the track. And yeah, like a lot of my music journey, because I was with other crews at the beginning as well. And just I touch on my football days, and just everything I've done in my life, music, my time abroad. When I went abroad, I spent like 10 years abroad. So it's a bit mad.
Yeah, man. I really dig that, and just kind of brings, people into, I guess, your view as an artist and your perspective in the world. I feel like because those types of tracks about your journey, you can write a song pretty much on each album to some degree. Because I've done that actually on my last album as well. But like I feel like after listening to some of those songs, sometimes I'm like, I could talk about a lot more shit on here, man. But you know, of course you got a limited amount of time on a song. But
Yeah.
yeah, 16. You still banging out on MPC?
Yeah, I'm still using the MPC one. Yeah. Yeah, I've done quite a bit, but I've been releasing quite a lot on BeatStars, and I'm just starting to put more out on Spotify, Apple Music, and all the streaming services now. So I haven't really put a lot out on there for a while. So now I'm just starting. I think next year I've got a schedule now, so just going to put a little bit more out on there now. I'll concentrate on that a bit. I'll still do the beats for BeatStars and all that sort of stuff, but just concentrate on just getting a little bit more stuff out there for people to listen to, really. And then but yeah, I'll carry on doing the BeatStars and that. I'll try and do at least one or two tracks a week, but I'm gonna put a bit more emphasis on the streaming stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I could totally dig it. Because I noticed like you put out your beats as kind of like singles.
Mm.
And you kind of, as you were saying, working both BeatStars and the streaming platforms. I mean, both can get you, royalties, and of course, BeatStars, the extra thing you go after is just getting a purchase from an artist, getting a sale from an artist. A lot of artists are looking for beats, of course, and I try to stick to that same formula, 2 beats per week as well, uploading online. So I definitely feel you on that. Kind of going back to Vincenzo. So, just looking at you, over the years, I did mention, Bang This Out. That was actually the first video that I saw of you. And like I just been kind of following your work since then. And man, like, just like you say, it's like if I look on Instagram, I see you one day you're dropping a video. I see you another day dropping a performance. I see you one day dropping a new single. How is constantly staying, I guess the word would be engaged with your audience. How has that helped you grow as an artist? Maybe gaining more fans, maybe getting your music more heard. How has that helped you?
It inspires me. Yeah, the more followers I get, the popular I get, it inspires me to keep going. You know what I mean? Because they I get messages as well from people, and they constantly keep telling me to keep going. You know what I mean? And compliment me on certain things, and definitely it's a massive help. That it's nice to have someone say to you, I like that, you know what I mean? That's great. Like, keep going, man. Like, you know what I mean? You're gonna do big things, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, it's massive for me, that, do you know what I'm saying? Because it's so easy to as an artist, to doubt, you know what I mean? And you know what I mean, keep up years, keep consistency up, keep the work rate up, because it's not easy, you know what I mean? It's a big game, and there's a lot of people doing it as well. So you're in this bowl with so many fish, you know what I mean? Trying to make your way through it and then get something out of it. So yeah, them little things, you know what I mean? Them little things that help just to keep you focused and stay on the level, you know what I mean? And keep bringing out different stuff and new stuff for people to listen to, you know what I mean? So
yeah, a lot of people, that don't create. I mean, it's really that way for artists and producers, because, from an artist standpoint, you might come out with one project or one album, and that album gets popular with your followers, but you might come out with something after that and it doesn't do as well. So you got to go back to the drawing board, and there's a lot of ups and downs as an artist and a producer, and a lot of creators can't really. I've seen some people, because I've been doing this since 2005, 2006, and I've seen so many people come and go, doing this music, and it's definitely shows your resiliency to go through those different phases and continue creating and getting better and better each time. So definitely keep up the great work.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. 16, kind of getting back to you, and I guess this is both a two-part question. It's kind of along the same lines of what I asked earlier in some ways about, like, I know y'all created this new Just Junior song, but y'all been working together. But like, what initially inspired both of you to start working together, like when you first did, and when was it exactly that you started working?
Well, actually, like, it must have been when Chenzo got back from traveling like 2 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
And I got the MPC, and we was just in here, just chilling, having a few beers, like just jamming and everything. And then I think I actually made Bang This Out a few days before he come, and I played that, and yeah, that was it really. We just started like thinking, oh shit, we might as well get back into this music thing, innit?
Yeah, because when I came back, I wasn't I had just started getting back into it, actually, and started writing, because I had spent 10 years abroad, you know what I mean? And before I was abroad, I was doing music before as well. And but yeah, that break for me, I didn't even know that I was going to come back and do music. It just something just happened, you know what I mean? It just fell that way. Even everything we're doing now, at the beginning when I came back, it wasn't planned, you know what I mean? It just rolled like that.
Yeah, so but we weren't really we weren't really going to do anything really. It was just I think it's all fun and games, really, to be honest with you.
And at the beginning, definitely. I came round and I heard some of the beats that you were making, and it was just a jam, really. And then when I started writing a bit more, I thought, you know what, we might as well do a little project or do something.
Yeah.
And then just began from there. And then
I even had a track list on the board over in here. We must have picked about 10 or 15 beats initially already. But we didn't go through with them. But from then, really, maybe a couple of years ago. Remember, it's January, because I've got the videos.
Yeah, because we was originally going to do a project. It was going to be a mixtape or something.
Yeah, it was going to be a mixtape.
Yeah, and then obviously things change all the time, and then we've done a few the last few years, just singles, and And next year I'm going to be creating a mixtape. So, and I've got quite a few beats from you for that as well. So yeah, see what.
Yeah. That's amazing because like one of the things that I always strive for here as well is, and I've done it in the past, just finding a artist that I could, tap in and constantly work with. And sometimes that is easy to do. And then, sometimes it's just kind of really finding that relationship. Because a lot of the guys that I came up with, some of them have kind of moved on to other things outside of music. But then it's just finding an artist really that's consistent as far as what they want to do. I might find someone that they'll come out with good work, but they don't record maybe as often as yourself does. And I'm constantly sending beats, but yeah, it's kind of great to see two creators have that type of energy that you guys have. So I'm a big fan of what y'all doing as well. Definitely keep up the great work.
Yeah, man, thank you. See, that's what I mean. Just them words alone just mean a lot. You know what I mean? A lot of appreciation to us.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, no problem. No problem at all. When you went abroad, like where were you traveling? If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, so I was doing, so just before, obviously before that I was doing music, and then for a while, for maybe a good, from like 17 to 27, a good 10 years doing music. And then I put out a few albums, done a few things, I was in a few crews and things like that. And yeah, I just decided at one point I'd done enough at that point. So I thought, do you know what? I want to go abroad and just, start a new journey, really. So I started off in Spain. And when I first went off, my plan was not to come back. I was, hoping to start a life somewhere. I didn't know. All I knew was I was going to Spain, and yeah, it ended up, after time, I just ended up going to all these different places. I traveled around Europe. I was working. I was getting different jobs here and there. I've done a little bit of traveling in between. Yeah, so places like France, Germany, Luxembourg. Worked in Turkey, worked in Lapland. Um, a lot of Belgium, Holland, like a lot of places. I went to Italy, went to Thailand, Cambodia, Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of places. I
Yeah.
couldn't, you know what I mean? But yeah. So that was a good journey for me. But and then when I came back, um, it was because of the Brexit and COVID situation. So and I was in France during COVID. I was working at some campsite building terraces and stuff. So I was there during that. And then it was getting to the point with the whole Brexit thing that, all the people that were working abroad in these countries, it was starting to get a bit more difficult for us to stay out there. So I decided to come back. And then that's when I came back, and I came back and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I just spent 10 years abroad doing that life, and I came back and I was like, right, it's like starting again. So yeah, I was in that sort of mindset, and then just I was bored and I started writing again, and I wasn't going to do nothing with it. I was just just writing, and then I just looked at it and thought, you know what, this is actually better than my stuff years ago. Do you know what I mean? Like that break that I had, I don't know, like the experiences maybe that I had, and maybe just helped my, do you know what I mean? My creative writing. I don't know. It
Yeah.
just, and then all of a sudden, yeah, I thought, you know what, this is good stuff. I might as well put some stuff out. And it started off with the Shepherd Boy song. I put that out, and originally that was just going to be one song. I wasn't going to do anymore. It just, I just came back, just got back into it. I was going to release that, and then, and then it done so well. My friend was like, we might as well, you know, I can be your manager. We might as well do this properly because it's done really well. Like people want to hear more. And then it just went from there, and we've just carried it on. And like I said, it wasn't something that was planned at the beginning. It's just happened, and then boom, like 2 years later, we've done all these songs, done all these releases, doing all these shows. You know, we're getting paid for shows now. And we're getting around now more than just in my local area. Like we're getting out into London and surrounding counties and getting good reception. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, that's great. That you said exactly what I was kind of thinking. All the traveling abroad to different countries, I'm sure created a lot of inspiration along the way. And that's part of, I guess, you were saying how your music was better the second time around, or when you started again compared to the first time around. So I can definitely get that, man. One of my personal goals, and I told this to 16 the last time he was on, but I definitely want to come out there to the UK, at some point, check you guys out and just the whole music scene out there.
Yeah, 100%. If you come down here, give us a shout and we'll link up.
Yeah, definitely. 16, we talk a little bit about I remember a while back about some of the MPC expansions that you were using at that point in time. I think maybe like Marco Polo and some of the I can't think of their name right now, but
I bought a couple the other week actually. I bought because I know Marco Polo's got another one out.
You got another one, part 3.
I bought his first one. No,
Pad Thai.
No, I've got the last one then, but he bought one out. Boom Bap Essentials. That's it. That one.
Yeah, I gotta get that.
One. I've got Neo Sunset.
Neo Sunset. That was a good one too.
You've had it for long. So you've had that one for a long time now, only that one. I think I remember you doing it to it. Yeah, I like them. Yeah, I like them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Drums, like I said, like the drums on the Marco Polo stuff. You can't really the sound on them.
Man, it's like those crunchy drums, those hard kicks, and then just the whole sample selection is it's almost kind of like a lot of live instruments they might have ran through like different tape machines, or just to give it that lo-fi kind of old school hip hop type of sound to it. And that's why I like a lot of the Marco Polo as well. And a lot of the kits too, I just thought about it, Raw Cuts. They have actually a Raw Cuts expansion. And then I think they did a couple of others for MPC, and I get a lot of their kits too on Loop Masters, but they have a lot of like hits, and their drums are very similar to Marco Polo as well. So I would recommend some of those. Now, do you still do a lot of just sampling off of like vinyl, or maybe like your iPhone?
Yeah, I use a lot of samples, and I've been using Cash Brown.
Oh yeah.
I've been using a lot from him. I find like his samples are good, so I've been using a lot of his stuff as well. And shout out Cooking Soul as well. He's a lot of his stuff as well. I've been using a lot of his stuff. So a mix of them two really, and a little bit of stuff through vinyl as well, but mainly through the packs. Cashmere Brown and Cooking Soul. Here's his drum. Cooking Soul, his drums as well. I mean,
yeah.
I haven't really got to do too much mixing with his drums. They pass right through any mix, through any sound, any bass, any So yeah, I've been using a lot of his stuff as well.
And Cashmere Brown, I got some of his, and Cooking Soul, like they did a lot for like Currency like years ago. I think they even did an album with Larry June at some point.
Yeah. I think he's doing something else with him now. I see them two link up as well recently.
Yeah. So I really like their sound, what they're doing, and it's kind of like, I guess, kind of like y'all doing as well. It seems like they work direct with a lot of these artists, and they make these projects that kind of really stand out. And I kind of think of what they doing is, I mean, hip hop is hip hop, but you got like mainstream hip hop, but then you got like everybody else outside the mainstream. I don't necessarily think there's even an underground no more when it comes to underground or that type of hip hop. But I like a lot of what Cooking Soul is doing as well. And I get a lot of my samples from, you ever heard of the Sample Lab?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I've been getting a lot of samples from them. And that's really like for a lot of these holiday sales that they've been doing, that's really kind of what I've been doing. It's just buying sample packs. There's not really any gear out there, though. I mean, I still use my MPC one, but I'm kind of curious about this PO 133 from Teenage Engineering. A lot of people have been posting online. It's another sampler for around $300, but
Oh, wow.
yeah, I kind of want to look into that at some point. But other than that, yeah, I'm just like you with the samples. So what's the hip hop scene looking like in, you know, the area? Where are you guys located?
We're just outside North London, really. So we're in a county called Hertfordshire, but it's literally
it's about
30 miles off North London, 50 miles from central London. So it's not
yeah,
just
about
yeah.
about half an hour drive into London, into North London. So we're not too far from the city, but you know, it's a little town called Stevenage. And actually, in the last few years, the music scene has sort of a few people have started coming out and putting more stuff out. I've noticed. Yeah, I mean, back in the day, there was a massive scene. Like there was loads of people that were, you know what I mean? Like,
2006.
yeah,
like when grime was big.
yeah,
Everyone was doing everyone was doing music.
yeah. There was a few crews. There was loads of artists. You know, MCs doing freestyles and you know what I mean, stuff like that. But over the years, yeah, it slowed down a little bit. But recently, yeah, I've started to notice a few more people have started coming out and releasing stuff. So yeah, it's good.
It's mainly Vincenzo management. They're doing they're doing the most stuff around here, really. But yeah, Stevenage, in terms of like North Arts, is probably the most active in terms of music at the minute.
Where, and you said Vincenzo management. Like, are you self-management or you like have a team that works with?
So I've got a management team. I've got a manager that deals with, you know, all the bits and bobs. But actually, she does a lot. She does all the videos. She's a photographer, you know, professional photographer. She does more than actually you know, management should do. But it's good. It's all in house, which is good for us. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a massive help to have that because I know artists that have to pay so much money just to get video done, and that's why they don't do as much because you know it's a lot of money that and all the promos and all the you know what I mean, it's a lot of getting the artwork, it's a lot of I've got all that just from one person, so and it's all in house, so you know what I mean, it's
yeah, she does all the social media, everything.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Does video, social media, everything.
So it's why we're able to just keep putting out so much stuff.
Yeah,
you know I mean,
yeah, sure that you know allows you as an artist and a creator to you know do what you do, you know, while all the other things are getting taken care of.
100%. It gives me a clear head to you know what I mean, just focus on what I've got to do, my shows, writing, you know what I mean, videos, performing, all that. So yeah.
Are y'all in the studio now or y'all record?
Yeah, this is to be honest, we've been doing a lot of stuff in another studio as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, this is where I do a lot of my stuff, and then Chens will come over and he listens to some stuff, and we might start creating something new or whatever. But there's a studio across the road from here. We've been going there quite a bit as well, so
yeah,
a little bit of a mix of both, really.
Yeah, it usually starts in here, and then we'll finish it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we'll finish it in the studio and go through that process. But yeah, it usually does start from in here, where the beats get made, and the magic happens.
Yeah, it's always good to have created space. I think that, every artist and producer especially should have their own, setup to where you can always create. But, also going to an outside studio, because sometimes it's just good to get some inspiration from elsewhere. A lot of that to me matters, like the scenery, the whole vibe. You might just not always get that here in your home studio. So it's definitely great to get out and go work at other places too. What do you guys, I mean, you talked about some of it, but what's going to be going on for 2024?
I've got quite a lot of plans already, and it's not even the new year yet. But we usually get built up work ready for a few months, in the future. But yeah, we've got a lot planned already. Shows getting booked. And like I said, I'm doing a mixtape next year. I'm going to work on through the year. I'm going to put out a few releases, few singles to promote that as well. And yeah, a few other things that we're not ready to announce yet, but yeah, you'll see that come up on our socials and stuff soon, definitely. But yeah, it's going to be exciting year, man. I'm looking forward to it. Do you know what? Working with a lot of other people as well, because like the last 2 years, I've done a lot of my own stuff, and I'm not really featured with too many people. We've had a couple of features on my stuff, but I've just been working on getting a catalog of just my solo stuff. But yeah, I'm going to be collabing a bit more next year as well, whether it's my song or their song. Yeah, what
Talk about Steve Return. You heard that?
Yeah, recently we've done a song that we got in the local paper. Actually, it's about our town, Stevenage, and we did the video and we did it in a few locations, popular locations around the town and that as well, and it done pretty well. Got good reception again. That was a feature I did for someone. Yeah, that was pretty recent. So
okay. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing a lot more of your work. Looking ahead now, the Just Junior, that's coming out? That's not out.
Yeah, not out yet. No, so we haven't actually got a date for it yet, but it's coming out soon. It's looking to come out before Christmas. But my manager's working on the edit at the moment, so we finished filming. But this video, this song, I spent a bit more time into it because it's a bit of a life story. So I mean, we started filming it in the summer, and we've been every month just doing little bits of the filming and that until now. So yes, it's something that means a lot to me, because it's actually the first song that I've done which is solely just about me and my life. You know what I mean? And like all the other songs that I've done are topics about either other things, or about motivating, or about, do you know what I'm saying? Or sort of to make other people feel happy, you know what I mean? So, but this is the first one for me, so it's quite, it means a lot.
Yeah. Whenever you have that date, well, I'm gonna see you posted anyway, but I'll give you a shout out for sure.
Yeah, man, I'll let you know definitely what when we got it ready, and I'll send you the details, definitely.
Definitely. What I always like to ask is, and you could come up with a combination of artists and producers, but who are 3 people maybe that you haven't worked with that you would like to work with?
Do you know, I actually would like to work with more singers than anything. Yeah, there isn't anybody in mind, but that's something I wanna look to, whether female or male, definitely, because I feel like a good singer is hard to come by as well. Like a really good singer, you know what I mean? There's a lot of people that can sing, but and it's got to match what sort of vibe that I want to bring to the table as well. And it's hard to get that mix, but when you get it. I mean, so definitely definitely that. Yeah, I would say for me it's getting out, a bit more from local. So I mean, we've done that a little bit this year. We've been doing a lot in London, so we doing a lot of shows in London, and when you're at these shows you meet a lot of different people. And I've come across quite a few good artists that I would like to work with, especially for my new mixtape as well. So I'm going to be hunting a few people out and seeing if they're up for doing something. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what collaborations I get in the new year.
Yeah, definitely. A good singer is hard to come by. I mean, as I think even some of the projects that I've worked on, it's probably been maybe 3 or 4 projects since I've worked with a singer. And then even then, it's very few. You're right, that you have to find somebody that fits the right vibe, like their tone, how they sing, and got to match the song. So I
Sometimes,
definitely,
sometimes it's not even about their talent. Like sometimes I've found, sometimes even for beats as well, it could be a really good beat or you could be a really good singer, but sometimes it just doesn't fit. Like sometimes, you know what I mean? Like sometimes I have to say, do you know what? I love that, but can't, you know what I mean? I can't work with it right now. You know what I mean? Sometimes, yeah, it's just got to fit sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't always fit. You know
yeah,
what I'm
you
saying?
you know when it does. You definitely
Yeah,
know when it
definitely.
does.
And usually when it does, it would just come just like that, and then boom, all of a sudden you got a track. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, 16? Like, is there anybody that you want to work with that you haven't gotten a chance to work with yet?
Um, it's a hard one, really, because when I'm sitting there making a beat, just unless I've got someone in there with me who I know, unless I know their vision or what of where they want to go with their track, I'll sort of just go with whatever I got on the MP. So I wouldn't mind working with some like R&B artists as well, some
Yeah.
like soul, neo soul sort of artists, but it's more around sort of like the boom back sort of soul like sort of vibe I want to work with, and I know what Chens wants. I know really what sort of energy he has on the track. So it's quite easy for me to create for Vin, but
Yeah.
that sort of area there, like sort of like I'm more at the minute actually into the soulful side of things, really, rather than the gritty sort of grimy boom bappy sort of hard hitting stuff. I'm more into like the softer sort of stuff at the minute. So that sort of vibe I'm looking for. If anyone wants to like sort of make anything within them sort of parameters, that's what I sort of want to go down at the minute.
Yeah, I could kind of like listening to Just Junior, like it sounds like your vibe, but like I could kind of tell from some of the stuff that I used to listen to from you to this, like you're kind of going into a different direction. And yeah, I like what you're doing, man. What you did with that song as well. Yeah. And any type of shout outs you guys got for, some of your fans, some of the people that you worked with.
Yeah, you got to shout out your fans all the time, man. The following there, it's been amazing. Like these last 2 years, like I said before as well, they inspire me to keep going. You know what I mean? Just from the support alone, the messages.
He doesn't get left alone.
Yeah, I get constant hassle. Well,
Yeah,
not hassle, but like my social media is just ping ping.
All the kids come up to him on the street now, asking for his autograph now.
Autograph. That's awesome.
Yeah, I get a lot of selfies. So
Yeah.
even that, it gives you that appreciation, man, for what you're bringing out. You know what I mean, and the stuff you're creating. It's like, yeah, it's like, do you know what I mean? My stuff's getting liked, and people are seeing the movement, and yeah, man, it's you gotta shout out them every time. Shout out my team, Vincenzo Management, my manager, the rest of the team that constantly keep coming out and supporting it as well, you know what I mean, and showing and putting in their input. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a few producers. So a couple of producers we work with, the Crates. Shout out the Crates. Shout out Logie. Shout out Sam Poetry. I've been talking to him quite a bit online. He's been helping me quite a bit. Shout out Leah Jude. She's been helping me. She's been giving me a lot of feedback. So a lot of people in the online community who've been helping me as well. Shout out to all them people. Shout out Vincenzo Management. Shout out Joanne Schickel. Shout out FDL. You know, the whole team really. So
100%.
Yeah.
And shout out the rest of the artists from around here as well. You know, keep pushing it, keep putting stuff out. Yeah.
This has been a great conversation that we got to have today, and I wanted to I appreciate you guys coming on, and just one I guess question that I got before we end the show is just kind of for our listeners out there, because we have a lot of people here in the States that follow the show as well, but like yourself, Vincenzo, as well as 16 Sounds, who maybe are some other great like UK artists maybe that we can listen to.
Do you know what, like, that are out there now in this country? I like I've liked Ocean Wisdom for a while. He's a very good artist. He's a very good lyricist, and I've liked his vibe since I've got to know him.
Yeah.
I would say, don't know, what would you think from around this way?
Like I said in my last interview, to be honest, if I'm going to be honest, I'm still listening. I'm still stuck in a time warp, mate. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah.
I'm still 90 for anywhere between 96 and 2006, and that's how I am. That's how That's how, if you go through my vinyl collection right now, and that's the time it's from. I've got loads of samples in there as well, but to listen to and chill with.
Yeah, I feel you.
And this ain't a diss on really ain't on anything current, but it's just I have to be honest. I still listen to all that stuff. I've really deviated from it. Maybe that's me, but
that's our generation.
I can't break away from that.
Yeah,
the sound that I'm listening to at the minute. I'm nearly 40 years old, and I just can't. I can't. I can't make that stuff now. I don't listen to it either. But
I remember you telling me, was it you? Came to the States and you got Currency, Pilot Talk.
Yeah. I like. He done some stuff with The Alchemist not long ago. Love it. See, that's another thing. The Alchemist is really, like, at the minute, he's bringing all that back again. He done an album the other week, a few weeks back. Loved it. If more of that sort of stuff was coming out again, but it's only really him, Larry June.
Oh yeah.
A few other people really doing that. Currency still doing things here and there, but it's not really a lot of that around at the minute.
Nah.
I try to like make my music sort of I always like to be different, so I take my inspiration from from back in the day, what we used to listen to, the American hip hop, 80s 90s American hip hop, and then sometimes I choose to do some current stuff which is more inspired by the UK rap scene side, you know what I'm saying? So I like to mix it up quite a lot. Yeah. And do different types of, because there's a few different types of hip hop now. It's the subgenres now is a lot more than there was. You know what I mean? But we grew up with hip hop, back in the day, and that was what made us get into this in the beginning. You know what I mean?
But I do like Hit Boy.
Oh yeah, Hit Boy.
I like the stuff he's been doing with Nas lately on the Magic.
Yeah.
All that series they've got going on there. I like that. But they done a little bit of a mix. Like he done that. He done some boom back and boom bap stuff, and it went into like a drill sort of thing at the end of it. I can't remember the track it was, but they've got a good little mix of what they're doing in there. So yeah, that's something current that I like them two. Hit Boy.
He did that on one of his solo joints. He did a song with Alchemist, and that was pretty hot.
What's it called?
I think Slipping in the Darkness, something. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I like that one. Yeah, that was a good track. Yeah. I listened to it on Friday. Yeah, that's a good track. That
man, great stuff, man. This is going to be another episode of the Major Music Lounge, joined by 16 Sounds and Vincenzo The Lion. Very great interview. It was definitely a pleasure to have them on. And, as I said last time, anytime you guys want to come on, you're more than welcome. We can do this anytime you got a new project coming out or, whatever the case may be. Feel free to reach out and I got you.
Thank you for having us, man.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a pleasure.
No problem. No problem. You can follow me on Instagram at d._major music. Same thing on Threads and d.mme on X. And fellas, go ahead, give your social media.
Yeah, so mine is all socials, all round. YouTube, everything is Vincenzo The Lion. So that's VINCENZODA Lion. That's on everything. Yeah. You can check me out on my website at www.vincenzothelion.co.uk as well.
All socials. I'm at 16 Sounds Beats. So X, Instagram, Facebook, at 16 Sounds Beats. So if you want to check any of my stuff out on there, you'll find me on there.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead, give them a follow, and catch this episode and other episodes of the Major Music Lounge on YouTube and all podcast streaming platforms. This has been another episode, and we are out.